Hello everybody, this is Sheldon St. Clair on the twice weekly Project Management for Everyone show, coming to you Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturday at 10 a.m. Right, this week's show we will be talking about mindset, but mindset with a twist, mindset with a difference. We're talking about the mindset from the viewpoint of being successful as a project manager. But this also applies to non-project managers as well. In fact, kind of anyone engaged in any sort of work. What is the kind of like the mindset? What are the kind of like laws? What are the rules? What is the suggestions you should follow in order to be more successful in and with what you do? Okay. Hello. Yes, hi Marcia. Apologies for missing the last two sessions, Wednesday and Saturday. Last Wednesday I was supposed to be doing a broadcast on Prince 2, the Prince 2 method, but I got everything prepared, but I got some new ideas. There's some new things that I kind of wanted to put into it, and I ran out of time, so apologies for that. So I basically scrapped that show. I will be doing another broadcast on Prince 2. I found lots of new material, but we're still going to kind of constrain it to the 20 minutes. And on Saturday, I went to a Christmas fair, a fundraising event. It was an all-day thing. I didn't leave until 8:30 that evening, and I met some Yes You Can Inspire to Achieve people. Yeah. Hi Marcia, and some other people as well. Great fun, raised lots of money, I've been told, and so apologies for that. So I will be catching up with those two sessions. But I just wanted to kind of, because today I did have something that I wanted to share with you, we're going ahead with that. So this one, basically, it's entitled The 14 Rules. Oh, you notice, had a haircut, finally, you know, messing around with different styles, and hope you guys appreciate that. Still wearing the glasses though. Okay, so I've got some reading to do, so I will be kind of like looking, reading and talking at the same time. I'm sweating quite a lot as well, so apologies for that. Right, okay, so the subject or the title of the show is the 14 roles, or it's the 14 laws for project management success. But as I say, it's these laws can be followed by anybody and everyone. Okay, so hope you find them useful. Yeah, let's get started. Of course, this is gonna be interesting, isn't it? And I've got 20 minutes or 15 minutes to go. Okay, so 14 laws. These are laws that I've recently come across. There's a lady by the name of Regan Hillier, who I don't know whether many of you have kind of heard from her or heard about her. I only came across her probably about a couple of months ago, but I've been able to incorporate a lot of her teachings to what I do. I'm finding it really, really useful. She's got lots of videos on YouTube if anyone's interested, but I came across something and I've taken it, being a project manager, I've spun it around, I've twisted it, and I've added in my input as well, my take on what these laws are. So as I say, hope you find them useful. So the first law is called, and these are quite simple things. Well, not simple for me, but you'll find them kind of quite straightforward. But I find them of interest. So the first one is entitled, Respect Everyone's Model of the World. Now, what the hell does that mean? Respect everyone's model of the world. Now, if you're like me, you tend to kind of like value a lot about what you say, but not necessarily a lot about what the person you're speaking to is saying, particularly if you're in project management. You know, your view of the world is the view of the world, okay? But what you find sometimes having that sort of like, that sort of belief is that it causes lots of arguments, causes lots of debates, causes lots of stress. Now, this thing for me, in terms of respecting everyone's view of the world, or everyone's model of the world, means that I've now become a better listener. I've now become a better a communicator, because I'm interested in what people say and why they say it and how they say it, and how that kind of aligns with my thought. So if you're managing a team, for instance, and you've got an idea about kind of like how a project should be run, what people should do, it's always good to listen to what they have to say. You may learn from that. Okay, I tried this for a week and it made me a nicer person. So respect everyone's model of the world. It might be really interesting what they have to say and what they have to bring to the table. Okay, the second law. So when we say law, law in terms of rules. Now, a lot of the time, if you look at sports, they have laws, they have rules, and if you break them, you're penalised. I suppose kind of like in terms of these are called the 14 laws of success, which suggest that if you kind of like break them, if you don't follow them, you won't become as successful, as fast or as efficient, as effective as you would like. As I say, respecting everyone's model of the world, I found that useful. I've tried that, so I suggest you try that as well. So law number 2, all behavior and change is relative to the context of your mindset and your physical environment. Basically, this is about the nature-nurture question. Are successful people or successful athletes, are they nurtured, or is it nature, or is it nurtured? I suppose if you're Usain Bolt, that's nature, isn't it? But in terms of project management, in terms of being a manager, in terms of being a supervisor, you can be taught these skills. But again, if you're kind of like from the environment you're in, that will shape your ideas, that will shape your beliefs, that will shape the way you think. And it's probably a case of just being cognizant, recognizing that both in yourself and in other people as well. Okay. The third law is about resistance. Now, if you're receiving resistance from people, whether as a business owner, whether as an employer, as an employee, sometimes communication and building a rapport with people, getting to like them, getting to know them, getting them to like you, sometimes that actually breaks, breaks the wall of resistance. I think sometimes if people are resistant, or if you're arguing with people, you're butting heads with people, what you may find is that, okay, people don't want to compromise. So any sort of resistance goes up and up and up and up and up. But sometimes if you kind of like build a rapport with someone, again, communication is key and important in whatever you do in life, particularly this age. 10, 20, 30 years ago, you can tell people, you can order people what to do in a more authoritative way because you had your title behind you. That's changing now, particularly with these new millennials, and just the way kind of like we are in society. People want to collaborate. So if you're receiving resistance from people, rapport, communicate with them, get them to like you, get to like them. Okay, so that's rule number 3. We've got 14. Yeah, 14. Okay, rule number 4. This is an interesting one, actually. So a lot of these causes you to think in terms of what the hell do they mean? Oh, sorry, what do they mean? Sorry, I should be swearing, shouldn't I? Okay, right. People are not their behaviour. They are not always. What they do is not always what they are, and I think this is the old adage, how I understand this. You may see somebody and you may experience a chapter of their life, but not the whole book. You know the saying about you can never judge a book by its cover, or you can never judge a person by a chapter you're reading about them. You think you may know them based on what they do today, or what they did yesterday, but that isn't what they are as a totality. If you're having a miserable day and you come across somebody and you're miserable, okay, they may form an impression of you, but that's not really what you are. You could be having a bad day. So again, if you come across people doing something that you don't like, have a bit of patience, be a bit peaceable, and try and read another chapter about them tomorrow. It may well be they are horrible people, a horrible person. But don't be quick to judge people too much. I'm finding I've been trying these out. You know, I'm doing one a week almost, or one a day, and I find it really, really useful. Okay, so rule number 5, and again, this is an interesting one for me as a project manager. People, and it's to recognise and appreciate that people are doing their best with the resources available to them right now. Don't be too hasty to judge people. It's always easy to try and judge someone by your yardstick, by your model, by your view of the world. But if you try and remember that people are doing the best with the tools that's available to them right now, it gives you a bit of patience, it gives you a bit of understanding, it gives you a sense of, okay, then if they're doing this with the tools available to them right now, do they need different tools? Am I the person to give them the new tools or to point them in a direction to get better tools? Again, you look at it from your point of view. That's an interesting one, isn't it? But it's to recognise that people are doing the best with the resources available to them right now. That could be your child. you know, when they're kind of like, they really upset you, they're doing the best with the tools available to them. So that's an interesting one to think about, I think. Okay, rule number 6 of the 14. Now it's called calibrate on everything. Now to me, that means get feedback, get feedback, get feedback. It's about reassessing, reviewing, relaunching. Okay, you are allowed to do iterations. Something doesn't happen the way you like it, you stop, you pause, you think, you reassess, you get feedback from people, and then you do it again. Okay, so calibrate on everything. Get feedback, get feedback. Now that applies to project managers, but that can apply to anyone, to be honest. Yeah, it's about getting feedback. I think it was Einstein that said the sign of madness is doing the same thing but expecting a different result. I think we all do that. Well, sorry, I do that, to be honest. Okay, but if you kind of like get your feedback, you reassess and use something different, you might get a different result. So calibrate on everything. And also, this is a weird one, rule number 7. The map, and this applies to me, the map in your head is not the territory. And what the hell does that mean? Well, basically, kind of like your view of the world in terms of what you think about, what you dream about, what you desire, is not always reality. It's not always what happens in the real world. So in order to kind of like, so it's a case of being just recognizing, because I daydream a lot. I think in my head a lot, to be honest. I think sometimes you find that what's in your mind is a lot more interesting, and you always get things right. I think a lot of us, we can make brilliant speeches in our head, but we shiver and shake when we're kind of broadcasting or talking to people. Again, on Saturday, I was talking to a lady and one of the store holders, and she was telling me everything that was wrong, and we were talking about solution. So when I found someone that could actually solve her problem, I said, well, okay, then there she is, talk to her. A woman kind of like, oh, no, you talk to her. Well, that was an example of kind of like, okay, in her head, she can, or to somebody not in authority, she knew what to say, what to do. But as soon as authority came along, you do it. Okay, so that's my interpretation of that. Rule number 8, and this is a really, really good one actually from my point of view. You are in control of your results. Everything that happens to you to date, you are in control of that. Your world, your successes, your failures, where you are now, is a reflection of your thoughts, your beliefs, your behavior, and your actions. Now, I think in a lot of mindset stuff that you hear about, webinars you've been to, books that you've read, seminars that you've been to, broadcasts that you've listened to, they probably have mentioned that But again, it's a throwback to you. The results that you're experiencing now are as a result, or they're a reflection of your thoughts, your beliefs, your behaviors, and your actions. The good news is, though, in order to change your results, you need to change one of these triggers. Does your thoughts need to change? Does your beliefs about things need to change? Does your behavior need to change? So your thoughts, beliefs, behavior, and actions. And does your actions need to change? Do you need to do something? Okay, so that's an interesting one. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Okay, number 9. Resources are what you need to succeed. We are not an island. Well, I like to think I am, to be honest. I think the way I've kind of run my life to date has been much about me doing my own thing, not asking for favours, giving favours, but not asking for favours. I want to do things my way. I think the last 3 years has taught me that, well, you can't be an island. You know, you need people, you need goods, you need services, you need networks, you need connections, you need collaborations. You need all those things. I'm still learning because I still feel like I can do things myself. You know, I want to do, well, yeah, I suppose that's a case of, okay, I must have had prior beliefs, prior thoughts, prior behaviours, prior actions that govern, you know, what I've done. And I haven't done too badly with those thoughts and beliefs and actions, but it's taken its time to do it. Oh, we've got our first comment of the day. Okay, young Marcia. Okay. Hi, Lewis. Yeah, Marcia. Feedback is good, and I guess... Oh, sorry. Let me read what Marcia has said. Feedback is good, and I guess we have to have a strong back and realise that feedback can often be viewed as criticism, but as long as it is constructive, it's all good. I've got a law about that later on, Marcia, so kind of like hang on in there. I think kind of like the rule about calibrate. Gosh, I didn't read the bloody thing properly. I didn't read the thing properly. Yeah, so I think kind of rule number 6 was about you are right. Using feedback to change something, using feedback to reassess something, using feedback to review something, using feedback to relaunch something. We've got another law about feedback as well, but you are correct. I think for me, I didn't like feedback, you know, because I always viewed it as criticism, to be honest. But then that's just kind of how I am in terms of my background, in terms of my view of the world, you know, so in terms of my environment. I didn't take feedback too well. I'm trying to think whether I actually gave feedback to people. Not really. I didn't like feedback though, but it has been useful. Well, I don't know. I don't like feedback. Well, I suppose I'm learning. I don't like feedback, so we can all learn, can't we? Okay. Yeah, I think the last 3 years I'm a different person to how I was 3 years ago. Okay, that's probably another story. But the last 3 years, I've been forced to collaborate. I've been forced to receive feedback. I've been forced to seek networks and connections and communication, because I never did. So I didn't feel I needed to do that. I've been doing that now. And life is a bit it's less stressful. So communication is good to not just you talking to people, but listening to what people have to say. I mean, kind of, I don't really do that well. I'm learning, I'm trying. Okay. Yeah, so resources are what you need to succeed, and the resources include money, the resources include people. You cannot succeed in the short term just by doing things your own way. I succeeded in life. It took me longer than it should have done if I had help from people. If I allowed people to help me, which I didn't really do. Okay, right. Okay, ooh, too much information. Oh dear. Okay, number 10. This is like a rule that I really enjoy, and I'm using to great effect. Okay. Everything, yeah, it's a bit long actually. Everything you do in your life should be driven by increasing wholeness in your life. What does that mean, Sheldon? Right. it's about decisions. A couple of weeks ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I spoke about making better decisions, making more effective decisions. This is another spin on this. When you've got a decision to make, whether it's work, whether it's personal, whether it's in your life, whether it's to do with relationships, what have you, always say to yourself, making this decision, does it increase or does it benefit me from a health point of view? Does it benefit me from a relationship point of view? Does it benefit for me from a work point of view? Does it benefit me from a finance or money point of view? That's an interesting one, isn't it? You know, you can read, there's lots and lots of books you can read about decision making. But this is interesting, isn't it? Everything that you do in your life, whatever you do, even watching TV, even me watching Judge Judy, which I love watching. Yeah, I've started watching it again actually. I was banned for about a year from watching Judge Judy, but you know what? It benefits me from a health point of view. I'm watching it now, so I need to switch off sometimes, and Judge Judy helps me to do that. So everything that you do in your life should be driven by increasing wholeness. What are you doing? What are you having? What are you being? And does that increase you? Does it make you happier? Does it bring you more joy? A lot of us don't actually kind of like view life from that point of view. Try that. Try that for a day. Try that for a week. Okay. Right. Oh, another one about feedback. This is rule number 11 of the 14. Be okay with receiving and giving feedback. It is an exchange to make you better. Okay. So a lot of the time, okay, people talk about, when people think about feedback, they always think about it from the point of view of receiving it from people. And therefore, is this feedback good for me? Am I going to be hurt? Is it criticizing me? But you've got a responsibility as well to give feedback. You know, you are unique. You see things from a perspective that no one else sees. So therefore, it's your responsibility, your duty, your role to give feedback. It doesn't have to be critical, but you're giving things from your unique perspective. Okay? So be okay with receiving and giving feedback. It is an exchange to make you better. Okay, rule number 12. Hope you find this useful. I actually, even in terms of preparing for this, I was kind of, I do like this. This has benefited me in the last couple of weeks. I've been trying this out. Okay, right. Number 12, and this is kind of like if you're involved in sales, I suppose, or again, communicating to people. To get a better response from people, review the quality of your conversations you're having with them, the questions you're asking people, and your connections with them. A lot of the time people say, well, okay, I spoke to this person and I didn't get the sale from them, or I spoke to this person and I annoyed them, or they annoyed me, or I'm managing a team and why don't people get it? Why don't they understand my vision? Why don't they understand my mission? Why don't they understand my objectives? What's wrong with this person? Have you stopped to think about, are you asking the right questions? What is the quality of your questions like? What's the quality of your conversations you're having with people? What's the quality of the connections you're having with people? So sometimes to get a better response, review those things. Again, that's interesting. That's an interesting spin on things, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Number 13. The most successful people in life tend to be the most flexible people in life. So so again, the question to you is, choose how you respond to situations. Successful people are very flexible. If plan A doesn't work, okay, we'll try plan B. Plan B doesn't work, okay, we'll try plan C. A lot of people give up, don't they? A lot of people don't like change. Successful people adapt to it. They accept it. They accept they accept that the only static thing is change. Change will always happen. You're either kind of like going into a change situation, in a change situation, or coming out of a change situation. Yeah, successful people tend to be flexible. How flexible are you? Okay, no matter kind of like how young you are or how old you are, flexibility is something that you should embrace, you should love, you should want, you should welcome, because you know that differentiates you from other people. That differentiates you from non-successful people, because you know to be successful, you need to be very flexible. Okay, and the final law, law 14 of the 14 laws of success, and again it's about decisions. So decisions that you say yes to. You ask a question and you're toying, okay, what are my options? You normally have 3 options at least, but decisions you say yes to must increase your choices in life. Your choices in life in terms of results, your choices in life in terms of flexibility, your choices in life in terms of options, your choices in life in terms of growth, your choices in life in terms of wholeness or wellness. A lot of the time we say yes to things and it doesn't benefit us at all. We don't grow at all, but we say yes to it. So next time you're kind of faced with a yes/no answer, whether it's to take part in an event, speak at an event, accept a commission from a client, ask yourself the question, does saying yes to this benefit me? Does saying yes to this increase my life? Do I benefit? Does it give me happiness? Does it give me joy? Okay, you will find that you'll start to say yes to some things more often, and you'll start to say no to some things more often, because there's no benefit to you, there's no growth for you. Okay, so again, it's different. This is a different session, but it does apply to project managers, and I believe it applies to non-project managers as well. It's things that you can use in the home, things that you can use in the work environment. It's personal to you. Okay, so I think that is it actually. So please like, comment and share if you found this useful. Please ask me questions if you so desire. My next show is this Saturday at 10 a.m. And what I want to do on this Saturday, this is probably my 11th or 12th show. So I'm gonna, well, probably 11th, yeah. So I'm gonna conclude. I'm gonna wrap things up, or give a mild, it's a conclusion section. It's a rounding up session. Okay, so please comment with any questions you have on what we've done previously. Please, if you feel the need to, rewatch what I've kind of done previously. Okay, this one today was a bit less project managey, but from a soft skill perspective, just as important, just as useful. So this show, I'm Sheldon St. Clair. Enjoy the rest of your week, and bye for now. Okay, bye-bye.